Just briefly touching on the strategy by McConnell, Ryan, every other Republican. Apparently, they could not even get a Republican to come on Morning Joe for the past couple of days. Every single Republican has come out and said, now is not the time to discuss gun legislation, because they wanted to wait a week when the media won't cover it. And then there are some, and these are all talking points that came out from the White House and others. I mean, this is standard, pretty standard stuff. They're all on message. Kennedy, I don't know what her first name is, or maybe that's her first name. I don't know what her last name is. Kennedy, who was the former VJ who became a libertarian and is on Fox Business, made a point on Fox Business show, or whatever, the Kennedy Watch, about how our reaction to guns is not consistent with the way that it would be if there was something else that injured people. This is what passes. Remember, she's part of the thoughtful, independent. In fact, that was the name of her last show, I think, The Independents. The Independent crew.
The president is now also faced with the screeching gun control debate, which never centers on intent or mental illness or the actual causes of horrific tragedies. If that psychopath had, God forbid, driven a truck into that crowd and killed 100 people, would we be talking about truck control or how trucks cause people to commit unimaginable acts of violence? No. But using logic and an emotional argument is a no-win in this climate, and don't expect gun control nuts to employ reason and facts anytime soon.
Okay, yes, it's so emotional. First off, we don't see that because there's something about guns, I think, that makes it far more exciting. But as to the question of would we be concerned about trucks slamming into, let's say, crowds of people or pedestrians, there is an image right now we are showing. It is of Fox News studios. You will notice there are huge planters in front of there on 6th Avenue. Those are not because people feel we want small shrubbery on 6th Avenue. Those planters are made out of cement. In fact, they align much of the major thoroughways in New York City and Manhattan, specifically because they are protecting against people who might drive buses or trucks or cars onto the sidewalk to hurt people or to crash into, say, Fox News studios. You can see this in front of Donald Trump's buildings. You can see it on Wall Street. You can see it lining 6th Avenue. You can see these barriers on 5th Avenue in some instances. So yes, even though we have not had an instance where someone has driven a bus into those things, we have already safeguarded large swaths of people. If you walk into Times Square, if you walk into Macy's Square, these pedestrian areas, you will see the same huge. These are not like small, like little barriers that just signify don't come through here. They are large cement blocks that prevent people from doing it. Now, she may not notice this when she walks out.
Every time I walk by that building, I always notice the incredible insult to freedom that it is. I find it pretty shocking.
But it could be that she's so caught up in her logic that she's not taking time to smell the shrubbery in the large cement planters that are protecting her when she does her show. Hi, folks. Sam Seder here. We still need your help on our Patreon page. YouTube ads have come back, but not nearly as much as we had before. So if you can help us out, any little bit helps. head over to our Patreon page right at this URL, and you'll help us keep helping you by making videos